I should start by saying she is one of the original co-founders of, co-chair, I should say, of Bernie's national campaign. She has been here working tirelessly in Iowa, giving up all her free time, weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, evenings to be here and help us get this man elected in this state. She's a fierce, fierce advocate for social justice, and we are so lucky to have her in our midst. Can we please welcome, gratuitously, Senator Nina Turner.
Honorable one. You know, once you get the title, you're honorable forever. Not that everybody in this, well, Lord, don't get me started. But she is honorable. I want to thank her so much, and Team Iowa, thank you. This has been just absolutely magnificent to be here. I just got my church on. I was at a church called King of Kings. Mine is Christianity in the spiritual sense, that I believe that to whom much is given, much is required, and that we should do unto others as we have them do unto us. Yes. For real. So I just want to thank King of Kings for hosting us there, and it was just a marvelous. We felt so welcome, and I got a chance to talk about this ministry, because this really is a ministry, so it gave me great joy. So I want to share with you really pretty much. And Senator Bernard Sanders has been bearing good fruit for a very long time. Now, I'm not sure whether or not the senator knew that he would be senator someday, or whether or not he knew he would be a House of Representatives. Steps were ordered in the same way that we are in Bernard Sanders. Now, there will be many good people who come along the way. There will be other freedom fighters along. My church partner and brother Afshir right here, we get our church on. And I need to do that because we all need to be refilled. And that's why I'm here with you today before you go out to knock doors, Iowa, is to say to the choir, you have to be reminded that you are the force, you are the wind beneath our wings, that we could not do all of these great things without people like you. You know, I was just in Cedar Rapids when I flew in. Can I just share, you know, at the King of Kings, they had a testimony. So sometimes in the black church, you go to a church and you get to testify, and you get to share with the congregation what you've been going through and how far God has brought you. So I want to say to you, Des Moines, that I flew out to Las Vegas, Nevada on Friday, and I'm thinking to myself, and I was saying to Brother Oliver, who was with me, I said, I just must have my head examined. I flew out to Las Vegas that morning, only to leave Las Vegas on the red eye that night, to come on in here to Iowa. And I'm thinking, what in the world was I thinking when I said that, when I did that? But I will tell you, from Las Vegas to this very moment, it has been a ride of synergy and energy of conscious-minded people coming for the same purpose, which is to lift this nation for the greatest majority of people. This is what you are here for. You know, I got a chance to be with the senator last night at Mason, Iowa, which was beautiful. The senator was just on fire last night. If you didn't watch it, you got to go back and watch the live stream. But all of this is rolling into the message. If you say, what is your message, Sister Senator? My message is this: that you will know the tree by the fruit that it bears. We are on a justice journey. And what a privilege it is to be on this type of journey with a man who has been consistently a true public servant before he got the title, a true public servant while he has the title. Those are the kinds of leaders that we need. Now listen, there are many fine people. I said this morning to King of Kings. Many fine people, because that's what the senator would say. And I say it to myself over and over so I can start to believe. There are many fine people running for president. You know, sometimes you got to convince yourself. There are many running for president. But just because there are many fine people, those of you, many of us got many fine people in our lives. That don't mean that every fine person needs to be president of the United States of America. What we have in Senator Bernard Sanders is somebody that is committed even when it is hard. That is the true measure of a leader. As the young brother that was standing up here earlier said, he must have been looking at my notes. But he is absolutely right. What's his name, Ben? Yes, Ben said, if it were not for the courage of Senator Sanders, we would not be talking about Medicare for all. We would not be talking about increasing the minimum wage. We would not be talking about climate chaos. All of those things, everything that he has done has set the stage for this. But we had to have somebody who had the courage to do it. As my dear friend Killer Mike once said, and I want you to believe this, I want you to know this, I want you to feel this. He said when we were in Georgia a few weeks ago to a crowd just like this, he said, we've already won. See, we won when the Democratic platform changed. We've already won. When people on every single debate stage, every single debate up until this point has been animated by what Senator Bernard Sanders laid the foundation for in 2016. He said, we already won. But Des Moines, all we got to do now is to collect our trophy. Come on, somebody. We're coming for our reign. That's what this is about. So Brother Killer Mike is already right. We, the people who have been on the front lines in our communities and all across this nation, we've already won. To say that you want for others what I want for myself, I want for others. That is what this movement is about. Having health care, universal health care, is a moral right, but it also has economic benefits for this nation. To want people that, when we were in Mason last night, a sister by the name of Denise got up. She talked about how she got cancer. And at her darkest, lowest, most neediest moment, she lost her job. So when you get Democrats up on that stage talking about Medicare for those who choose, who would choose that when life knocks you down and at your lowest, most neediest moment, that you would lose your job and therefore lose your health care? Who would choose that? We had a nurse stand up to talk about how she sees people in their most vulnerable moments. How if you have diabetes and you don't get treated, you might lose your vision and other things that are treatable, but you can't get that treatment because we have a non-healthcare system in this country that is relegated by greed. And it's something wrong with it. So when you get all these very fine people up on the stage in the Democratic Party hedging about whether or not we should have a Medicare for all system in these United States of America, when we have over 80 million people who are either underinsured or uninsured, and then people who do have health care can't afford their co-pays, their deductibles, and their premiums. Having choice in this is really no choice at all. The choice to die is really no choice at all. And then the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. Don't even get me started. I met a family when I was just in Las Vegas on Friday, and they shared a story. They had the 18-year-old daughter. She just turned 18, and she told me, I'm voting for Senator Bernard Sanders. Hello, somebody. She has a condition. One of her medications having cosmetic things done. I'm talking about something that will sustain her life. The medication costs $1,600 a month. Even if you are in the upper middle class, at some point, your money gonna run out. So when we get these very fine people saying that we want to have Medicare for those who choose, we don't want to take away choice. What choice is that? Some of you may remember that I done got myself hot. Let me go and take off my We know that recently, our sisters and brothers of the UAW, they were fighting with General Motors. And the punishment for them standing up for workers' rights was for GMC to take away their health care benefits. What kind of choice is that? UAW in the house, baby. That ain't no choice. So when all these very fine people are up on the stage, kowtowing to the special interests, that their greed, the greed of the healthcare, unhealthcare industry, the greed of the pharmaceutical industry, that we would dare see people die in the streets or decide that even if they have healthcare, they cannot afford their co-pays, their deductibles, and their premiums. Anybody that would side with that industry, something is wrong with them.
Amen.
Now, we may not have known better then, but by God, we know better now. And as the great Dr. Maya Angelou once said, when you know better, baby, you ought to do better. This is the time for us to do better. We deserve Medicare for all in the United States of America. These very fine people who don't stand up when the getting gets tough. These very fine people who have fundraisers and wine caves laced with Swarovski crystals. These very fine people who stand up in the living rooms of multimillionaires and billionaires and proclaim to them that nothing is going to fundamentally change for you. Well, if nothing fundamentally changes for multimillionaires and billionaires, then nothing fundamentally changes for you and you and you and you and you. We need fundamental change. All these very fine people who kowtow to the special interests in this nation. Change is going to come. You know, I read last night again at Mason, and I did something I usually don't do, and I data points were put out about how the 400 wealthiest families in this country have amassed $3 trillion worth of wealth. And then they juxtaposition that with how the federal minimum wage looks. 2009, $7.25. 2010, $7.25. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, $7.25. While the wealthiest people in this nation, they doing mighty fine, but the workaday people of this nation are suffering. And it is time to have a champion who has already chosen whose side he wants. So yeah, they all very fine people, but we need somebody who's going to stand up for the people, even when the going gets tough. So Des Moines, Iowa, you all know why you're here. You know it starts with you. You are the domino. So we need you. For every door that you knock on, because we got a whole bunch of social media heroes. Social media is fine in this place, baby, but nothing beats flesh and blood. Having a conversation, looking into somebody's eyes, sharing with them why you support Senator Bernie Sanders. Nothing can take the place of that. So folks can have all the Twitter followers they want and be Twitter giants and Facebook giants and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff, but nothing takes the place of flesh and blood. And so that is why I'm here to lift you today. You're taking your time on a Sunday where you could be doing anything else, and you are going door to door, the courage to go door to door and knock on a stranger's door and tell the story as to why you support our justice champion. Why you support a man that is standing in a ready position for all of us. That this rainbow mosaic, we have a multi-generational, and let me underscore generational. I can't tell you how many elders I've seen all across this country. They'll say, Senator, make sure they don't forget. Now, all boomers, you know, some of the boomers rocking with Senator Sanders, okay? They want a sister to know. The boomers rocking with Senator Sanders. They don't want to be left out. Don't leave out nobody. You know, we so fixated with youth in this country, unfortunately, that we forget our elders. We're going to lift our elders up. Now, sometimes we agree, and sometimes we don't. But this is a multi-generational, multi-racial coalition. That is the kind of revolution that we're running right here, right now. And as a leader of that revolution, baby, I am here to tell you that what you are doing, you might not feel it every day. Don't watch too much TV. You might not feel it every day, but what you are doing is going to transcend not just this nation, but the world. And when history is written, this movement that we are creating of workaday people from all walks of life will never be forgotten. And I want you to praise food for all. And oh yeah, we want a Green New Deal. Oh yeah, you got to vote. And we roll on February 3rd, and then we're going to roll into New Hampshire. And then we roll into Nevada. And then, baby, we rolling into South Carolina. Hello, so 53 cents at a time. That is the ultimate poll. That is the ultimate amen on this mission that we are on. We're on the myself happy. Hello, somebody. Sometimes you got to preach yourself happy. God, and I got so many people. I quoted Sister Helen Keller last night in Mason, and she said, alone, and I want you to follow me, so I'm going to close with two. This is not me up. Sister Helen Keller got it right. Alone, we can do very little, but together we can do so much. That's this movement. So here's my quote. It was in 2014. I think I was feeling very heavy. I was running for Secretary of State. A black woman, just in case y'all didn't know, a black woman has not been an African American to hold a constitutional office on the Democratic side of the ledger, so I'm running. And I say that because some of the haters, some of the donut Twitter folks, I didn't, Lord, don't get me started, I'm supposed to say it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Amen. So, man had more money than I had from the outset, but I ran anyhow. And even though I did not win that race, I changed the tone of that election. Sister Fantasia, one of my favorite singers, said, sometimes you got to lose to win again. Come on, somebody. Over and over and over again. Every time I turn around, we're fighting for some justice. Every time I think that we've overcome one thing, we got another, i.e. black men being shot in their houses. Yeah. Every time I think that we have made progress, there's something else that reminds me, that reminds us that we still got more work to do. Hello, somebody. And I was just feeling the weight of poverty, feeling the weight of hopelessness, and really knowing from my being as being a black woman in America and understanding the unique struggle and the unique journey of the African American community, that there is power in the ballot box. Understanding that, just feeling heavy, and I couldn't shake it. And the Reverend Dr. Otis Moss Jr. said these words to me, and I want to leave these words with you. He says, Senator, the struggle is forever. So we are forever in the struggle. My message to you, Des Moines, Iowa, is that the Reverend Dr. Otis Moss is right. The struggle is forever, so we are forever in the struggle. And so each generation has a moral obligation to advance justice for the next. And in that generation's moral obligation is to advance justice for the next. And in that generation, and on and on and on and on. The struggle is forever, so we are forever in the struggle. So do not get weary in well-doing. We are setting the tone, not just for ourselves, but for generations yet unborn. That you are doing a mighty work. Even at times you don't feel like you are doing a mighty work for humanity. Because when we make Senator Bernard Sanders the 46th president of these United States of America, not only are we lifting millions of people in this country who have been forgotten about, we are lifting up a world, a nation, because he will be a nation, a national leader. Love lifted us. And it is for love that we get in this fight, and we challenge the system that is corrupt, that is rotten. I heard my sister Langford say that she's feeling heavy herself because we do have a madman in the White House. And in order to combat this madman, you need his antithesis, and his antithesis is Senator Bernard Sanders. Yeah. We gonna do this. Iowa, we gonna do this. You will be the domino. And we don't do it in Iowa. We don't do it in New Hampshire. We don't do it in Nevada. South Carolina, we see you. And every other state in this nation for the love. Love. So can you lift one hand for yourself and another hand for somebody else? And with these hands, we will have Medicare for all. With these hands, we will have college for all. With these hands, we will cancel student debt. With these hands, we will reform a legal system that is unjust in every single way. With these hands, women will finally get their whole damn dollar. With these hands, we will transcend this country. With these hands, humanity will abound. And baby, with these hands, we will elect Senator Bernard Sanders, the 46th president of these United States of America.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Senator. We're going to all sit back down so we can try to organize getting out there. There's a lot of folks here. My name is Justin. Thank you all for being here, from those from the morning from the area and from those who came in. I know a lot of you came in from Kansas City. Again, who's here from Kansas City?
Wait, hold on. Kansas City in the house. Kansas City. Thank y'all. I had to come in, because when I was in Cedar Rapids, we had a whole bunch of our sisters and brothers from Chi-Town who came bust in. And we had alderman from Chi-Town that was there with us, one of our endorsers.
Team, if you like these kind of videos, make sure to subscribe.